Get peace of mind with the RV Advisor's extended warranty for as low as $14 per month. Visit thervadvisor.com today.
This is the RV Advisor Podcast with your host, Tom Alexander. Get all the latest information, trends, advice from experts, stories from the road, and more in the world of recreational vehicles. Now, here's Tom.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the RV Advisor Podcast. My name is Tom Alexander, and I'm joined today by the CEO of RoadTrek Incorporated. It is Dane Found. Dane, welcome.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to be with you.
Yeah, this is great. I am checking out RoadTrek, and you guys are well. The company's got their headquarters and everything is up in Ontario, but you are based in Southern California.
Well, actually, I have a place up in Canada as well. In fact,
do you?
I just came home to spend a bit of time for the holidays here, but this is the first time I've been home since February.
Since everything really started to take shape in not the greatest way, but we were talking ahead of time, and it's been an eventful year, needless to say. And let me ask you, I mean, how has that affected what you do at RoadTrek and the company in general?
Well, as you know, the RoadTrek Incorporated, the company that exists today, was an acquisition of the assets from the old RoadTrek company by a company in France called Rapido. And so they hired me to come and lead the resurgence of the product and the brand. And we were off to a really good start, getting things going, and then all of a sudden the COVID situation hit, and we were actually shut down for 10 weeks. Then you have to start up again, and during that 10 weeks, I think us, like many other companies, were making preparation for a reduced business, so to speak, and altering our projections and our plans. But as soon as we did start back up, it was evident that we were all caught off guard because the market just exploded.
Yeah.
And, so now we've been doing our best to continually ramp up production. Yeah. We're trying to ramp production responsibly by making sure that we maintain the procedures we've developed for getting a quality product out. And so that has to be a strategic ramp up. Yeah. And right now we're over double where we were prior to the shutdown, but still not as high as we need to get to, but we're getting there. We're adding new people on a weekly basis, and it takes us some time to train those people once we bring them on. So people that we bring on this week, we probably don't see any real benefit from them for about 3 or 4 weeks down the road. But it's I guess it's a good problem to have, because there's a lot of other industries that are faced with much glimmer.
A lot of challenges ahead.
Yes.
It's I know that we ourselves have just seen the absolute, as you described it, just kind of explosion in RVs and what's everything that's going on. And like you said, I don't think anybody was really prepared for that.
No,
a lot of thinking on your feet, I would imagine.
Yeah, we, along with our parent in Europe and other companies that I've talked to here in North America, we're all preparing for a leaner period of time, and because business was pretty good prior to the COVID shutdown, and things were going in the right direction. And then when that all hit, we thought, oh boy, we better we better plan for a reduced demand, but
Yeah.
completely the opposite.
Completely. Yeah. That's what's happening. And folks are realizing that, and even people who are not necessarily veteran RVers, people maybe discovering RVs for the first time, are, that's like the alternative mode of time away, if you will. They're not flying anywhere. They're not taking trains or buses anywhere. But in an RV, they can kind of control their own environment and get to their destination. And it's really just gone in an entirely upward.
No question about it.
It's been unbelievable. What can we say? So, Class B manufacturers, this is a Class B RVs, and tell us a little bit about what differentiates RoadTrek from maybe other Class B manufacturers.
Well, RoadTrek in itself, the brand was certainly a leader in this Class B segment for many, many years. It was the Kleenex of tissue paper. People referred to the Class Bs as RoadTreks, and there was a few other players in there, but RoadTrek enjoyed a huge market share.
Mm-hmm.
It was primarily geared towards, I don't like to use the term seniors because I'm getting to be that myself, but it was, it was, that's who typically was buying the Class Bs before, because they were looking for something smaller and easier to handle, and something that could be parked in their driveway instead of having to get storage and stuff. But today we're seeing a lot more families as well getting into the Class B for some of the same reasons, that they want to be able to park it in their driveway. But RoadTrek was very innovative over the years with some of their designs. And if you really dig deep into a RoadTrek in comparison to some of the other units, you'll see that there's been years and years worth of engineering that's gone in to make a RoadTrek what it is. One of the examples I often use is the holding tanks and the freshwater tanks that we have. They're a captive part to RoadTrek, and they're designed to fit into spaces and frame configurations underneath the unit. And if you ever saw one of our tanks, you'd say, boy, that would have taken a long time to come up with that. But they're trying to maximize the capacities without taking up valuable storage space inside. The easy thing to do is just put a square tank underneath a sofa or a seat, and there's your water tank. But that also takes up valuable storage space, which in a Class B is king. You're wanting to keep as much storage space as possible. So
sure,
these tanks and things that they've developed over the years are quite unique. And if you compare capacities on our units are typically, for a comparable unit, probably 20% more capacity than a lot of our competitors. But it's because they've figured out how to use spaces that otherwise would be wasted space.
Yeah.
And RoadTrek, for the most part, when we bring a van in, there's a lot of plastic body parts on the outside that are black, and most companies do just leave them the way they are. We remove all of those. We sand them, we paint them to match the body, so that you've got a full body paint on the outside, as opposed to just a typical van looking exterior. Now, that being said, we just introduced a model that's a little bit lower price point for us, called our Play, in which we're doing exactly what other companies are doing, leaving those pieces as they come from the OEM. But the rest of the RoadTreks are all, completely painted. We paint 32 different pieces on the outside of one van. So
yeah. Well, it's interesting looking through some of the models, and they're just really impressive units. Our guest is the CEO of RoadTrek Incorporated. It is Dane Found. And Dane, we'll come back. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back and chat a little bit more, okay?
That's fine. Super.
All right. This is the RV Advisor Podcast. Now these words.
The RVACA is a charitable organization protecting the rights of the RV owners. We'll work with dealers and manufacturers to ensure quality control is in place prior to delivery of an RV. Additionally, the RVACA provides assistance to disaster relief victims. Visit rvaca.org.
We are back on the RV Advisor Podcast. I'm Tom Alexander. My guest is Dane Found. He is the CEO of RoadTrek Incorporated and the premier Class B manufacturer of RVs. And it's interesting. We get folks from all walks of life on the show, but the one commonality, of course, is travel and RVs. And I know that you didn't just become CEO a year ago and just sort of, you had a little bit of experience coming into this gig, if you will. So tell us a little bit about the Dane Found before RoadTrek.
Well, I began my career in the retail end of the business. I had my own RV dealership in Ontario, Canada. Mm-hmm. And back towards the end of '93, I was hired by Cobra Industries, which is the predecessor company to Forest River. In fact, Pete Legal was the one that lured me to come down and work with their company. And from there, I went to California to help start a division for Thor Industries, building travel trailers, and spent 10 years doing that. And then myself and another fellow from that company left and started a company called Pacific Coach Works, again in California, building travel trailers. Yeah. Sold that company at the end of 2010, and the industry went through quite a period during the '08 recession.
Yeah.
And from there, I did a little bit of work with Winnebago and Coachman, and then I actually got back into the retail end of the business for a little while. I was always hoping to get a job leading a company again, but with all of the consolidation of RV companies over the last number of years, there's fewer leadership jobs than there was at one time. And then I guess it was July of last year, I was approached by a recruitment firm, headhunter, and asked about whether I'd have an interest in this company.
Yeah.
As long as I've been in the business and originally coming from Canada, I've always had a appreciation for RoadTrek, because RoadTrek was the leader, and it's about 45 years old, that brand, and there's a tremendous retail loyalty to the product. There's consumers that are on their 7th RoadTrek.
Wow, that's devotion. That's loyalty.
That is loyalty.
Yeah, I have a question. You'd mentioned the consolidation of the industry and less leadership jobs per se, but outside of that, do you feel that the consolidation has benefited the industry as a whole, or do you think that the competition, more competition, is better?
Boy, that's a tough question, Tom, but with all respect for the companies that have done the consolidating. I do think that the industry has done well when there was a bunch of independent companies out there competing for the customer. And I think that, when you roll up brands under a single entity, I think a lot of them lose their individuality, because they start to, well, this is a simpler way if we do it this way, that we do it on these products, and they bring that to every brand across their offering. And I think it's good to have companies out there coming up with new ideas and trying some new techniques and things like that. So personally, I think that having more independent companies is better for the industry. Plus the competition of it is
keeps people honest, I think, right?
It sure does.
Yeah. We worry sometimes if everything's going to be under the I don't know what, Disney, Viacom, McDonald's, Coca-Cola Corporation. It's like, it seems to be trending in that direction.
Yeah.
We're speaking with Dane Found. He is the CEO of RoadTrek Incorporated. You talked about having your own dealership at one point in Canada, and where did your interest in RVs spark? I mean, were you a full timer? Was it something that you did? Were you a camper at heart, or was it, where did that all come from?
Very much so. Back in the 60s and early 70s, my father was in the RV business, so that's, I guess, where I got the first taste of it.
Yeah.
But as a child growing up, we were always into camping, and then both my wife and I, we love the lifestyle. We love to get out camping and exploring, and we have camped from coast to coast in both countries. I think that if you were to ask my wife, she would tell you she'd rather go sleep in her RV as opposed to going into some of the finest hotels. She likes the idea of having her own bed, and I truly do love the industry. So, it's all I really have ever done is the RV industry, but I do have a passion for what the product does for people and families. My kids growing up, my son is into camping with his family. They got their own RV, and they go camping on a very regular basis. So
it's interesting. Although the two businesses aren't directly related, there's a similarity. I grew up in the movie theater business, and my father told me when I was a young child, he said, we're in the memory making business, and RVing is a lot like that. People go out and it's memory making. They remember the trip to here, there, and everywhere. And
we talk about that on a regular basis. I've said to people in the past that if you were to talk to my children and ask them about their childhood growing up, I would tell you 9 out of 10 of their stories would revolve around some camping trip that we took someplace or did something. So
that's terrific. That's great. Well, Dane, we really do appreciate your time. Thank you so much for taking time out and joining us. And if people want to learn more about RoadTrek, although a lot of our viewers and listeners probably know a lot about RoadTrek, but still, why don't you let folks know where they can learn more?
Well, they can certainly contact us at our factory, but our website is www.roadtrek.com, and there's links there to all of our products. If you have any questions or information, there is opportunity to get a hold of us through there as well, and we're very responsive. We're on all of the social media avenues as well, with Facebook and Twitter, and those things. So please, we're there to answer questions and help more and more people get into the lifestyle.
Is that social media something that you steer clear of personally, or do you let the some other folks handle that? Because I know that it's always a juggling act with trying to remember where you posted what where,
Yeah, I personally don't get too. Plus, I'm kind of old school. I don't, I don't know as much. But
right.
we have a great team in place, and Karen Torcoletti, who heads our marketing department, she's very active in that, and she's the one that responds to pretty well everything.
Great. Well, listen, it's been a lot of fun chatting with you, and we wish you the best in 2021. And thanks for taking time out to join us on our final program of final news show, I should say, of the year in 2020. It has been a ride, no pun intended, but we certainly wish you the best for the holidays and a successful, as I know it will be, 2021. Thank you.
Tom, I appreciate the opportunity, and we'll wish you a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year as well.
Thank you. This is the RV Advisor Podcast. Back in a moment. The RVACA is a charitable organization protecting the rights of RV owners. With your help, we'll work with dealers and manufacturers to ensure quality controls in place prior to delivery of an RV. Additionally, the RVACA provides assistance to disaster relief victims. Visit rvaca.org. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the RV Advisor Podcast. Tom Alexander here, along with Neve Carey, who is not in South Florida.
No.
Now we can tell you're bundled up a little bit. You're in Nashville.
Yeah.
And, wow, look at that. It sounds like there's a lot going on around you.
Yes, this is a bustling city for sure. This is our first time here. It's been a great day. Getting to, see some cool live bands and eat some amazing food. Yeah, it's been wonderful. Great way to start off.
Fantastic. Good for you. You going to hear some music tonight or hang out?
Oh, absolutely. It's funny though. We came here thinking we were going to be all cool, but we're parents and we're probably going to be in bed by 8 p.m. Who are we kidding?
Well, that's part of the deal when you become responsible parents, right? To a couple of youngins.
Exactly.
I understand. Well, listen, you know what? This is our last podcast of 2020.
It is.
And we're not going to waste a lot of time. We're just going to wish everybody a great, safe holiday, and a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we've got big plans for 2021,
big
right?
plans. Very excited. But yeah, right now we're just trying to make sure everyone's happy and healthy and has a fantastic holiday with their family and friends and whoever it may be. Just have a great time.
That's fantastic. Now, do you know what street that is below you there?
This, I want to say Broadway. Yes, this is Broadway.
That's Broadway. Okay.
Yes.
That's the other Broadway, the slightly less famous Broadway.
Yeah, it's really fun. They have I know Jason Aldean has a bar just 2 or 3 doors down from here. Hard Rock Cafe is right across from me.
Wow.
Luke Bryan. So yeah, some big name musicians have some bars here. So it's been really fun. It's amazing. Even at 1, 2 p.m., everyone started playing music. So it's great. We love music and traveling and stuff like that, obviously. So yeah, it's just a great day.
That's fantastic. Well, get a lot of video and pictures and share it. We can share it with our viewers and everything. When we go back to live and new shows.
Yes, so excited.
Between now and the new year, we're going to be playing some encore shows.
You will.
This is the last show. Well, listen, Neve, thanks for everything you do on
and
the
you
show.
too, Tom.
Hey, lots of fun. And those little guys are about to really have I'm sure, a very fun Christmas.
They'll keep us busy, that's for sure. But I mean, it's fun. It's great. It's great seeing Santa come and opening gifts and just stepping back and taking some time. So yeah, it's wonderful.
Absolutely. Well, from all of us here at the RV Advisor podcast, the whole team that puts this show together, Neve and AB and Michael and Gigi and the rest of the crew, as well as yours truly, Tom Alexander, we wish you a safe, happy, healthy holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we'll see you in 2021.
I know. Bye, everyone.
So long,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Bye-bye.